Guys, it's happening. The biggest Isaac news in years just dropped. Isaac is getting a co-op mode. I just woke up to this coming out apparently 12 hours ago, and it's just about the most hype thing I've seen since Repentance came out. So we get this preview screenshot from Tyrone. He says, let's play Isaac online together, and apparently there's going to be a full-fledged co-op mode. None of that co-op baby nonsense that we had at the start of it. None of that local only co-op. This is going to be a full online co-op mode for the game. From the looks of it, from the screenshot, there's going to be 4 players that can play it. It says me here for the first card, which is probably just to indicate that this is you playing. There's a bunch of completion marks as we know them from the post-it that tracks completions on the character select screen with Isaac. You know, this is being Isaac, the upside down cross being Satan, Mom's Heart, Blue Baby, and the lamp, and so on and so forth. There's apparently 2 more completion marks now for what looks to be Hush and Delirium here. And then there's also a bloodied note here, which is usually to indicate hard mode. But Delirium used to be where it colors the entire post-it. And there's a completion mark for that now, so I don't really know what a bloody thingy. Maybe this is just to indicate the person is ready. I'm not sure. But either way, 4 people can play this. You can change the mode to normal or hard mode. You can input a seed, but it looks like you don't have to. And it also tracks your online win streak, which gets me really curious personally. There's a few comments about this from Tyrone. So if we scroll down, one person is asking if this is Repentance only or if there's going to be a patch for AB Plus and onwards. Tyrone says it's only going to be for Repentance. I'm sure modders are going to be disagreeing with that in AB Plus, but for now, this is confirmed to be Repentance only by Tyrone. For a really long time, I have told you guys, if you want to buy DLCs for this game, only buy all of them or none. If you want Repentance, you got to buy the other 2 DLCs, which at this point is pretty steep. But for me personally, the best iteration of the game is Repentance, and then comes Rebirth, and like the 2 in between, we shouldn't be talking about that. But yeah, they're not too great, so this really just furthers that opinion. If this is going to be Repentance only, you want to play co-op, you know, you're going to have to buy Repentance. Is this going to be like the couch co-op where there's going to be 1 item in the treasure room? And Tyrone says there's going to be 1 item per online player per floor. Now this is really exciting to me again, because there's so many different ways you could do this, right? There's going to be 4 players. You're going to the item room. There's going to be 4 pedestals. Are they like designated to each player? Is there a player 1 pedestal, player 2, player 3, player 4? Can one player maybe take multiple pedestals, which I personally find a bit problematic when you're playing with randoms online? We're gonna have to see how that works. Or maybe it's gonna be 4 pedestals and every player can take 1 of them, and after you take 1, whichever it is, no, it doesn't matter, you're not gonna be allowed to take more. Maybe that's how it's gonna work, and then you can strategize with your teammates which one you want to take. Next person asks, I can't wait, will this be available on consoles and or cross-platform upon release? Tyrone confirms this is beta on Steam only. This is not live yet, but when it's gonna go live, you can go to your Binding of Isaac settings and you can opt into the beta and test it with your friends or randoms for that matter. And after it's going through that testing process with the community, they're gonna flash out the bugs, which are inevitably gonna be there because it's coding, right? And once that's fixed, it's probably gonna come to consoles. That's how it's reading it for me, right? Like, it reads to me like it's gonna be Steam only at first. Eventually it's gonna be full release on Steam, and then the people responsible for porting it to the Switch are probably gonna get on that. That's how I'm reading it. Cross-platform, we're gonna have to see how this goes. I know that's always a bit iffy to work on. I would imagine that if you're playing on PC, you can only play with other PC players, and if you're playing on Switch, you'll only be able to play with other Switch players, so no cross-platform play, but we'll have to see how this goes. Next person is asking, can you queue up for a random game, or do you have to play with friends? And Tyrone does in fact confirm, like I said, you can do random matches or with friends. And that's just about everything we get from Tyrone for now. For me personally, the question is, are we only going to be able to win streak, right? Because it tracks win streaks here, or is there going to be like an integrated racing mode too, right? If it works anything like the old couch co-op, if one player goes into the next room, all the rest of the players are going to get shoved along as well, and everyone's going to be forced to go to the next room. If it works that way, then most likely there's not going to be a racing mode with it, which would suck a bit, but I also understand it. Like, there's nothing on this screenshot that looks to me like it's going to track your time or your ranking or anything, so I would assume it's actually going to be co-op only, which with randoms actually makes for an interesting mode as well, because as we know, gaming online, you're not always going to get the cream of the crop teammates. You're not going to be able to play with good people at all times, so it can be quite a challenge to actually try and win a run and get a high win streak. So online win streaks are actually something that's piquing my interest right now. That being said, I really didn't expect news of this magnitude to ever come out for the game anymore. When Kilburn announced that he's retiring from working on the Binding of Isaac, I really thought that's it. You know, that's all we're getting. Tyrone in another tweet also talked about how they're actually working on Delirium rework, which, yes, please, if that's gonna pop up, that would be insane. I don't see that happening anytime soon personally, especially since this seems to be the priority right now, the way they're announcing it. Edmund is tweeting about it too, right? He said it's happening, folks, but there's really not a whole lot of substance here. If you scroll down a bit, you know, Zoe Thorogood really speaking from my heart here. Oh, what bra is probably how I reacted when I saw that this morning. And Edmund is just saying, you heard me. And that's all we're getting from him. Either way, I'm blown away by these news. I hope it's going to be good. I hope there's not going to be too many latency issues. I really think this could breathe some more new life into the Binding of Isaac, and I really hope it will. But we're going to have to see how it goes. Let me know what you think about it. What are you looking forward to the most in this co-op mode? Do you want to play with friends? Are you just excited to have people to play with in random matches? Are you going to try to go for a win streak, or are you just going to try and make your teammates' life hell, which is obviously also a very valid thing that you could be doing with this? Either way, let me know what you think. If you want more Isaac news, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's other content I have on the stream, on the channel. I'm sorry. There's other content I have on the channel too. I do a challenge called Eden Destination Roulette where I randomize my goals and try to win as many runs as possible. There's a video up on screen right now of me doing that. So if you want to watch some more of my content, make sure to do that. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like.